in the back, posted in the act. Got to hit the club, we been mobbing all day. On some Jono, VIP stats. Look around the club, what do I say? Everybody rocking side to side to the beat. Snapping their fingers, bouncing to the groove. All by themselves, that's the new move. Where I'm from, we like to go dumb. I'm soaking up the game, I'm seeing how it's done. I ain't shorty what they call it, she said the pool palace. Straight from Bankhead, I said you're good at it. What you do, you and your crew. They even got players and thugs doing it too. The more that the more it's looking smooth. It's nothing to a boss, I can see him too.
Snap your fingers, but do you still? You can do it all by yourself. Let me see you do it. Let me see you do it. Hey, snap your fingers, but do you still? You can do it all by yourself. Let me see you do it. Let me see you do it. Hey,
chillin' in the bill. Yeah, we again. Bottles in again. Up the put it in the air. I'm throwing up the, let them know we in here. Yeah, brand new shoes, brand new. The old school, cause I'm feeling real cool. Yeah, I'm from the A, so I'm leaning and rocking. Slapping my fingers, then reaching for my repping my block. Straight from the deck. When you snap your fingers, shout it, gotta jerk your neck. On the best, we don't dead mess. I bet you can't do it like this. Yeah, I'm back to the track, back to the snap. In the A-time.
EA Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
Started now, the kicker, Chris Boswell. And off we go here on Sunday Night Primetime. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their quarterback, a product of NC State. It's Jacoby Brissett.
And no doubt he's living out a dream right now. He's had dating back to his first days of playing football as a kid. But he certainly can't get lost in the moment right now. There's still a Super Bowl to be played. And his offense, they're looking to him to be their leader. You can take it all in when it's over. Right now, you got the biggest game of your life to win.
And now a timeout called by the Cowboys defense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. They go play action with Brissett. Blitz coming down. He goes. Harold Landry just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7. So an early wake-up call there leads to a quick 2nd and long. First carry here for Kim Walker. A good gain of 9 before he's brought down at the 28.
I don't think anyone thought we'd see a run first and second and that long, and that element of surprise, I think helped make that play so successful. Nice effort on that carry, and it took what seemed like second and impossible.
Oh, no, his first throw of his Super Bowl is intercepted. And this one will return to right on the 38-yard line. Not a good omen there. His first throw of the afternoon, intercepted.
And I know what the fans are thinking right now. I hope there's not negative thoughts in his head going forward since that's his first throw of the game. But One of the things I remember about him coming out of school is he's able to wipe things away pretty easily and move on.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. And that's their second charge timeout here in this first quarter. They're down to 1 remaining. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Get it. Packer 60. Buffalo, 19 tight.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Got his man. That's Luke Musgrave. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. This Super Bowl, of course, just a huge one for this head coach. The first time he's walked the sidelines in a game of this magnitude. And well, I might normally ask him for sure what's going through his mind right now. But maybe the better question, CD, what do you think of the pitfalls of being a first-time head coach in this game?
Well, you know it's something that he thought about, Brandon. He had to, and he was thinking about it long before he got to this stage. As the season progressed,
Bayshore Turton, a 12-yard touchdown run. And the Cowboys are on the board first here in this Super Bowl. And I'm sure for these guys, the break from the conference championship to the Super Bowl seems so long. To get out here and score that first touchdown has to take some tension out of the game.
Oh, I love the point you just made about the gap between. Think about the pressure that is built in the interim. To come out and get the first points in the Super Bowl, fantastic for the team.
And he will get in to make it 8-0. And, of course, on the two-point try, have the option to run or pass. They pass it there, and it works.
Felt pretty straightforward, didn't it? An open receiver, ball's put on him, 2 points for them.
And he's going to get this across the 20 as he's out of bounds at the 23. And now out comes Houston. They trail early on in this Super Bowl as they come up 1st and 10. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. All of his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. And some room to work. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Cowboy defense has a touchdown. The defense more than did its job. Now the offense is coming onto the field as he'll go for 2. And he is in to make it 16-0. I think we're sensing a trend here. 2 first-half touchdowns. After going for 2 after the first score, CD, I thought maybe they would kick the PAT here. Now they get 2 more.
Now they decided to really press the advantage because remember, getting the 2 after the first score, you've already got the other team back on their heels if they're going to mount a comeback. But if you have 2 scores and 2 two-point conversions, you've really got them thinking on the other sideline.
The road ahead a little bit more difficult now after that pick 6. So dealing with his deficit here, we'll see if he can try to make amends on this drive. 1st and 10. Looking to put a drive together. After the pick 6, they go right back to the air. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter.
Second down.
Up the middle they run. It's Walker. And a short gain across the 15 to the 17-yard line.
He's taken down at the 7.
They'll get 3, but it leaves him with a big hole here on 3rd and very long. From the gun, here's Brissett. Solid stiff arm. They wind up getting 16, but even that's not quite enough. It's 4th down. The Texans send the punter out as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And fights through 1 man. That'll be a 47-yard punt, officially 5 on the return. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
Here we go, go!
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down.
That's to the tight end, Musgrave.
And he takes us beyond 35 before going out of bounds. All the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive. He'll look to throw. Under pressure, and down he goes. That's Crosby. What a play by him. That's going to go as a loss of 13. Now that after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23.
79 bro. 70 Lions. 60 Bobcats. 60 Bobcats.
They're going to look to throw. And it's intercepted. It's Devin Lloyd with a pick. And they will finally run him down, but not until he brings us all the way back down inside the 10-yard line. Suddenly it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here.
At the 9-yard line.
Play action now. Brissett. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Will Anderson. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop it.
It's 2nd down and goal.
1st down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further. Off the play fake, here's Brissett. Now he's going to step up and run. He turned that into a nice gain, gets him 8 yards closer for 3rd down.
A gain of 8 yards.
We've got a lot more ahead of us here in Super Bowl 60. 2nd quarter coming your way next. Plenty of scoring here already. We'll return after this message. You're watching the NFL, and it's right here on EA Sports. Appreciate everyone joining us. Super Bowl 60 here tonight. Time to begin the 2nd quarter. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis up in the booth as we get set to resume play. This is 3rd and goal. Brissett. He'll try and do this himself. And he works his way past the line of scrimmage and then slides to a halt.
Ryan Fitzgerald on for the field goal. A 22-yard attempt.
And his kick is good. But now there is a penalty marker on the field, so let's see what this is about. And this is going to be roughing the kicker, an inexcusable penalty, Charles.
You've worked so hard to hold him to a 3-point kick. Now you give him the ball again with a chance for a touchdown.
Here we go. 12.
Walker will take this one in for a Texans touchdown.
And they can thank their defense for this one. They were set up in the short field following the turnover, but they took care of business as well, working their way down and finishing with a strong run into the end zone for their first touchdown of the game.
Texans 7.
Following the touchdown, this is Fitzgerald now to send this one away. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20. And out now come the Cowboys. So now, Charles, this drive, maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you, and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
We'll get this out to Tootin. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a 1st down.
1st down, Dallas.
19, Buffalo, 70 Rangers, 70 Rangers.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. A short throw to Musgrave. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 46. Again, he'll drop to throw. On the RPO, he'll keep it himself. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a 1st down.
Ready, right?
And he stopped immediately there. Tackle made by Devin Lloyd, the linebacker.
Yeah, things are pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Now this time he'll look to throw. That is man complete over the middle. That's Thomas.
Brian Thomas Jr.
Here's play number 7 on the drive. This is 3rd and 7.
Let's go. 69, go.
They'll set up to throw. A short throw to Musgrave. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. Boy, a call like this, certainly tougher to make in a Super Bowl, but they'll go for it on 4th down. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he'll take it into the end zone for a count or a touchdown. Luke Musgrave, 28 yards. And the Cowboys continue to look good here in the first half of this Super Bowl.
23, Texans 7.
So that drive in total 8 plays. And it culminates in a Dallas touchdown. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. Able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. It's a Houston offense as they get set to take over here.
Right now, Charles, it just feels like they're trying to keep pace. They did score the touchdown last time out, but they still trail by double digits here. We'll see if this offense is once again up to the task.
Yeah, and I think that after the last drive, they got me pretty revved up, don't you think? Everything they were doing was working pretty well. They go back out there with the same mindset, the same tempo, and the same pace. Still a lot of time left to make something happen in this one.
2 yards still to go. 3rd down now. Here's Brissett. He'll try to pick it up himself. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts, as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. Out of the gun, Brissett. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, he timed it perfectly and not with free.
And the line to gain here is the 37 on 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's Brissett. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked by Antoine Winfield Jr. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Cowboy defense has a touchdown. So the Cowboys now bringing the offense out there to go for 2. They'll look to throw. Now a run here off the RPO. He'll keep it. And that one falls incomplete. So the 2-point conversion, no good.
I know they didn't tack on the 2 points, but I liked their attempt. After the interception return for a touchdown, I was thinking to myself, forget kicking it, go for 2, and they did.
Oh, yeah, and everybody's scrambling. Maybe you catch the defense on their heels. They weren't ready to be out there.
Yeah, it's almost like a sudden change, right? There's a turnover, you take it away, you stick it in the end zone, keep the momentum going. Give credit to the defensive guys for rallying and stopping that 2-point attempt.
They'll run with Walker to begin the drive. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Carrying Porter on the tackle. It's a pickup of 6. Brings up 2nd and 4 at the 31-yard line.
Brissett. That's to the sideline and incomplete.
This defense is certainly organized and playing off of each other because the rush is providing pressure and the coverage is forcing incompletions and capitalizing on mistakes. When you get every level on defense hitting it once, you get first-half scores just like this one. This defense has certainly played well so far in this game, and the coverage has been tight on just about every throw. Forced a few here so far in this game, and now it brings up 4th down.
Just a 25-yard punt, not what he was hoping for by any stretch. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half.
Ready, break.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away. Now a 2nd and 10.
Let's go. Cowboys, 19, 18, Pioneer, 65, Dragon 60, Mustang.
They'll drop the throw. Now he'll tuck this and run. That was going to throw deep right side. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
And with apologies to Dylan Thomas, apparently they're not going to go gently into the half. They're still out there firing haymakers. They took a chance on a deep ball there, but it lines up.
Rifles one, that's going to be intercepted. And the Texans are going to have it here at their own 32-yard line.
Intercepted. The Texans take over 1st and 10 at their own 32-yard line.
They'll throw now on the final play. He's going to loft this one deep left sideline. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete. So the halftime show of the Super Bowl abbreviated, ready to go for the second half. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gordon, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Cowboy offense set to go to begin this 3rd quarter. And I would imagine this is where you have to take stock of the situation, CD, and say, gosh, we're halfway to the Lombardi Trophy. Let's not slow down now.
And I like the way you went there. Let's not slow down now, because the first half certainly went their way. And I would expect them to continue with that type of a game plan. But you're right. You do think back to Super Bowl 54. 49ers had a double-digit lead in the 4th quarter, couldn't hold on. So plenty can still happen.
And he'll even avoid the contact in the end as he will finally slide to a halt. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in their second half blowout material. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. He'll complete this one to Watson. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now they'll change things around before the snap.
19, ready.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. And that's to the left sideline and incomplete. Well, the incompletion, but now we also have an injured player. Hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break.
79 Broncos. 19, 18.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Open man is Musgrave, the tight end. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. 33 yards that time. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. A 3-yard touchdown run. And the Cowboys are starting to open things up here in this Super Bowl. And now they'll empty the backfield here as they elect to go for 2.
For the 2-point conversion.
And this one incomplete. So they went for the 2, they don't get it.
I know we can sit up here and dance around it a little bit, but going for 2 in this situation, somebody doesn't like someone else. There's no doubt about it.
Well, what they couldn't see is you lean back in your chair and you went, I mean, you feel, yeah, that's not a good decision. They didn't get it, though.
Yeah, I don't think you just say, well, my kicker's hurt in this moment. No, okay.
Good starting field position for the Houston Texans here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. Brissett sets to throw it. Escapes the sack. No bottle, but it's out, it's loose. And the Cowboys have recovered.
That feels like an accumulation of the pressure we've seen all game. I mean, he's been on the turf a whole lot because of sacks. Eventually, something else happens as well, and this time it was a turnover.
That caught up to him. set up down around the 15-yard line. Line of scrimmage at 15. It's 1st and 10.
It's a gain of 20. First down.
They'll look to throw. To the left side, there's the tight end, Musgrave. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
19 tight. 19 tight.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. Luke Musgrave, his 2nd touchdown of the Super Bowl. And the Cowboys are starting to point on to the game's biggest stage. They are running away with this Super Bowl. And he's going to go down. Can't get rid of it. So a sack on a 2-point try. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This to the back of the landing zone. He'll return it from the 1. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. Houston set to take over. It's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. The turnover on the last drive, they had the issue in the first half as well. And that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't admit it to themselves, but we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line is, how do they play a clean game the rest of this one, right? Take care of the football, no more turnovers, and see how that works.
Go. 12X, 12X.
Now Brissett. And that's hauled in by St. Brown over the middle. Now he's free at the 35. And he's finally down at the 21-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run. 51 yards. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. To throw, Brissett. He'll go right back to St. Brown. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. 12 more yards for him there. It's a 1st down.
How about the way they're moving the ball down the field? They had a big play a moment ago. Followed up with another nice one here. And before you know it, they're looking at 1st and goal.
And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. So they get pushed back to the 11. And here's 2nd and goal.
At the 11-yard line.
Throwing, Brissett. And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. Michael Pittman from 10 yards out. And the Texans are able to cut into that deficit.
The kick is good.
Extra point right down the middle. Up next, the biggest quarter of the entire season. At the end of that, we get to crown a champion. We are through 3 here in Super Bowl 60. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Only 1 quarter left here in Super Bowl 60 as we get set to begin the 4th. And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And they are trying to play it cool down on the sidelines, but they know that they are very close now to wrapping this thing up and letting the celebration begin. A Super Bowl title within reach now as they try to polish this thing off. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. So 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 49-yard line. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. Another big play as they get 28 out of that one.
There's a beautiful throw there, and he's been sensational the entire game, moving it around, spreading it, hitting the right guys. And look, under normal situations, partner, I would expect him to come out of the game now. They've got it in hand. But you and I have been around this league a long time, and every time we ask head coaches about it, hey, why don't you take your quarterback out when the game's in hand? They just kind of give us that look like that's what he's paid to do. So it's a very unusual situation. I want him out. They tend to leave him in.
And that's good for a gain of 6. And it's second down.
What I love about watching the passing game nowadays is that the one-dimensional receiver is really starting to lead the game. You've got to be able to do it all. Of course, you got to run fast. Of course, you got to catch the ball. But route running savvy and toughness, there's a premium for all of that now.
This 2nd and 4.
Ready, right?
Now they'll run it on the toss. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. They'll see about converting this 3rd and 8. He'll drop to throw. He'll try and do this himself. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And it'll be touchdown here, but not before he does pick up the first.
Let's go now. 70 Timberwolves.
Play clock down to 0, and that's going to be a delay.
Delay of game. Offense.
That flag, that'll push him.
Let's go.
They'll set up a throw. He'll get this out to Tootin. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. A gain of 7 that time. 2nd goal.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as interception. Now he gets to record a sack, too.
3rd and goal as they look to pour some more salt in the wound.
Hey, 18 Cardinal, 18 Cardinal. Ready.
Looking to throw. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. He has really settled in throwing the football, and that touchdown here in the 4th quarter gives him a pretty comfortable cushion.
He may be a rookie, but he's playing like 4th quarter, and the QBing is easy. How about this guy? Youngster, not worried about anything, just cutting it loose and having fun.
Extra point now by Boswell. Pitch to the tight end. And he will not make it to the goal line as his try for 2 is going to come up empty. But that's little consolation to this defense as they have been porous all game long.
Boswell set to kick off.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And he'll wisely just take a knee here. And this ball will come out to the 35. For the football going back over now to the Houston Texans. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
And they'll get this route past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 50 yards rushing for him now. He's carried the ball just 5 times.
We definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
That really sets him back. A loss of 6.
Brought down back at the 43-yard line.
To throw is Brissett. That's It's caught by his tight end, Dawson Knox. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down.
It's a gain of 11.
Brissett
brings up 3rd and 5.
To the right side and caught. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys 18.
A gain of 15 yards.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. And this is going to be caught. So it affects the final score, not the outcome, but it is a late touchdown here on the game's final play. The extra point is good, but it only impacts the final score as this game comes to a close. And the Dallas Cowboys will hoist the Lombardi Trophy. They are the kings of the NFL. And their remarkable season ends in the most remarkable of ways. They get to put next to their name, Super Bowl champion.
And they can't ever take that away, can they?
Nope.
That lasts forever. So good to see the emotion when it's all said and done. You see the hugs, you see the guys sharing, the collective happiness. Makes me want to carry you around a little bit on my shoulders to celebrate the triumph. And congratulations to them, a fantastic season.
Collins. We in Miami and we ballin'. She let dollar pull up as we mobbin'.